Rugby League replays from the Campbelltown Sports Ground for round 20. Clash between Western Suburbs and Balmain. The referee this afternoon is Neil Arman. The home side, Western Suburbs, number 1 in fullback Brett Doherty, 3 quarters, number 2 Jamie Ainscough, 3 Trevor Cogger, 4 Tony Casado and 5 Graham Mackay. The halves, number 6 Doug Rawlings, who played second row last week, and number 7 Captain Ivan Henjack. The forwards, number 13 Bob Lidner, 12 Cameron Blair, his second row partner 11 Steve Jackson. And prop this week instead of hooker, Gary Bukowski in 10. The other prop is Pat O'Doherty in 8. Shane Flanagan in number 9 is the hooker. Fresh reserve for West, Jason Liddon, and they're coached by John Bailey. Meantime, for the visiting Tigers, Balmain at fullback at number 1, Gary Jack. Some changes, or a change to the 3-quarter lineup, and a positional change for the omission of Gary Freeman. Number 15, Damien McGarry, comes in on the wing. James Grant in number 2 moves to the centre to partner Ian McCann in 4. Steve O'Brien still on the wing in 5. Tim Brasher in 3 will be 5/8, and McNeil in 6, the halfback. Forwards, number 13 and captain Wayne Pearce at lock. 12, Gary McFarlane, his second row partner 11, Paul Sirinen. 10 is Steve Edmund at front row with 8, Bruce Maguire also there. And number 9, Ben Elias, is the hooker. As play gets underway deep down into Balmain territory, just 10 metres out from the road line. Sirinen trying to clear the operation there. There's a fresh reserve for Balmain, coached by Warren Ryan. That's number 40, Matt Parrish. Andy Courier was nominated earlier in the week, but subsequently, of course, he's gone back to England with the recurrence of that back problem he has. Here's Wayne Pearce. Junior gets out over the quarter before being taken by 2 Magpies there in Flanagan and also in Bukowski. It's back to Gary Jack through McCann for that clearing kick. Comes up towards halfway and beats Mackay across the sideline to get the first scrum of the match, just a few metres inside the West Territory. There's a fairly brisk west-southwesterly blowing this afternoon, and that's basically across your screen from this camera position side to the far side, the hill side of the ground. But I'm sure as the afternoon progresses, that'll become more right to left across your screen. First scrum, and it's collected by Ivan Henjack for West. Rawlings now, giving it to Mackay. Mackay tries to straighten, taken there by McCann and Jack. It's Bob Lidner, the vocal local support, getting into Balmain territory by a couple of metres. He's taken in the defence by Grant and also McGarry. First penalty, referee Armand swinging the Balmain players around the ruck for being inside the 5. So the first penalty kick going to Western Suburbs, just 2 minutes into the first half. Well, a very vital game for Balmain with the win yesterday in the Saturday match to Manly Warringah. They're equal with Balmain on 26 points at this stage. And of course, Newcastle winning the Friday night football game leapfrog over Balmain. So if Balmain were to lose this match, they could see themselves out of the 5 after looking pretty comfortable in the top 3 for most of the year. But Doherty's going to have the first opportunity to raise points. Balmain, of course, coming into this game with a win, pretty hard-fought one over North Sydney last week by some 14-10. And Western Suburbs, after giving Parramatta quite a match for most of the game last weekend, finally beaten at Parramatta Stadium by the Eels. Yes, Jim. Doherty moving into it. He's got the breeze basically with him, and he puts it through. So first points of the match to the West fullback Brett Doherty. Magpies 2, Balmain 0 after 3 minutes. It's a very good crowd in attendance at Campbelltown this afternoon, and they enjoyed some very good lower grade football in the virtually final 5 playoff match. Both teams on 23 points in the President's Cup. West came out winners by 8 points to 6 after it was 2-all at half time, so that was quite a tight game. And in the reserves, Balmain were triumphant 20-12 after they led 8-0 at half time. But with about 6 minutes to go, West were in front of that game by 12-8. Traditional clash, of course. Long-time neighbours, West and Balmain. Of course, West vacating the area, the traditional area, and coming out to the new area in Campbelltown in 87. And of course, the old area now left to Balmain. Second scrum, Henjack feeds it. Again, Western Suburbs successful. And Mackay again into the action. Some 9 metres from his own line. Here's Bob Lidner. Lidner gives it to Trevor Cogger. Cogger taken there by McGarry. Played to Casado. There's O'Doherty trying to get to the quarter line. Pulled backward by Edmed, and Maguire also in that defence. Straight up through the ruck now comes, looks like Bukowski. It's back for the clearing kick by Doherty. Gary Jack's under it. It's a big kick, taking advantage of that breeze down the ground. Jack tries to run it back, but Jackson's there to take him. It partially got away from Rawlings. Also in the defence, Trevor Cogger. 9 metres from halfway. McNeil giving it on to Steve O'Brien, coming in from the left wing. Casato and Kowski there. There's McCann. Makes up 10 metres through the ruck. Benny Elias giving it to McFarlane. Gave the dummy and taking the ground by Jackson and also Bukowski. There's Ed Med, led by 3 Magpies, and he makes it some 11 metres short of the quarter on the last tackle. There's Elias to McNeil. McNeil's put it up. Doherty's there, no great pressure on him, takes it well. And he's challenged by McNeil and also Benny Elias. It's 7 metres from the west line. Here's Mackay once more. This is McFarlane. Play about 10 metres out, it's pretty close to centre field. Casato. And there's approached by Grant, who's moved into the centres, of course. That's why wearing number 2. And Brasher is at 5'8", number 3. It's a pretty good run there through the ruck area by Cameron Blair, getting his first touch. And Jackson powers it up. He unloads well too. Comes back the blind side for Lidner. Lidner pirouetting there and getting inside the tackle of Grant. Grant comes in a second time to assist McFarlane. They're about 8 metres short of halfway. And not a good dummy half piece of work there by the winger and Ainscough. Kick downfield. Trevor Cogger chasing. It'll go into the in-goal area. Probably be a bit too strong. The breeze carrying it on. It was basically a pretty good kick. And on a calmer day, it may well have just sat in that in-goal area for either Gary Jack or winger O'Brien to collect for Balmain. As it is, Balmain will resume with the quarter-line tap. Some 6 minutes into the game and already 2-0 for Western Suburbs. Elias to take the tap. Comes to Maguire. The test player makes it about 5 metres over that quarter line. There's Wayne Pearce. Taken by Lidner, his opposite number. Elias gives it to McNeil through Brasher onto Gary Jack coming on the burst. A beautiful copybook tackle there, right around the legs by Cameron Blair. By on, says referee Arman, as Jack plays it forward and goes again, gets it back to Edmed. Comes across to Grant to O'Brien, right at halfway there. It's finally taken by Mackay. Here's McNeil with Surinam. And Jackson wraps him up top and was fronting it around the legs. 5th tackle now for Balmain, right on halfway. McCann to kick it. And gets it in between the winger and the fullback, but it'll bounce around for Doherty. Doherty goes away from Ainscough, beats the first man in pressure, and Junior Pearce picks him off some 18 metres out from the west line in the middle of the field. Rawlings gave it up there for Casato. Didn't spin off Edmed, but finally Elias and Surinam taken at the quarter. This is Bukowski. Got through a mountain of defence in the match against Parramatta last week for Western Suburbs. Henjack, longer ball, cutting one out, go over to Jackson, who gives another good ball over to Ainscough. Steps inside Grant, but Grant manages to cling on. Assist from Pearson, cover defence from the lock. Henjack now to O'Doherty. O'Doherty some 10 metres short of halfway. McFarlane took him. It was the former Western Canterbury player Gary McFarlane. Kick from Doherty. Didn't quite keep the momentum going towards the sideline. Comes inside comfortably for Jack. Chased by Henjack. And also Doug Rawlings is there. Just 2 metres outside the quarter. Benny Elias to dummy half. To Brasher. Here's Steve O'Brien. Tradesman-like winger. Very good operator for the Balmain side. Tackle there by Bukowski. Also an assist from Casato, who's coming over the top in this tackle. Cogger and Henjack were mainly there. This is McCann, almost getting through the ruck. Beat the first man, Bukowski. Just 5 metres short of halfway. Benny Elias gives it to Edmed. Edmed makes it up over halfway before his opposite in Doherty takes him. The last tackle for Balmain now. There's McNeil with that kick. It's straight to Doherty really on the first bounce. He does well, he had to lean forward a little. Took it well. Brush has got him this time. And McNeil also there. Centre of the quarter. Rawlings giving it up there for Ainscough, come in from the left wing. Again, the workhorse in McNeil in the Balmain defence. There's Bukowski. Defence from Junior Pearce and Surinam around the legs. It's a dummy there from Flanagan. He went himself from dummy half. Jackson O'Brien was having an altercation with McFarlane. It's Cameron Blair, midway between the quarter and halfway in West Territory. The last tackle for the Magpies. 10 minutes gone and 2-0 to West. Doherty's kick, using that southwester pretty well. And again, it bounces and comes back infield. So he's got the reverse. If he can sort of put those kicks to opposite sides of the field, he'll be doing well. Here's Gary Jack running it back very, very vigorously. Gets away from another defender. Great run by the former Test fullback. Gary Jack's got support. They've given to Steve O'Brien. Has O'Brien got the legs? He's got support anyway. And McNeil, this will be a classic try for Balmain. Taken from that Doherty kick. A beautiful try. Gary Jack running some 15 metres, finding support in Steve O'Brien and giving it on to McNeil. Well, shades of Gary Jack at his very, very best. The Doherty kick, unfortunate not to go into touch because it was bouncing just a metre or so inside the line, and for whatever reason came back in. It was the reverse of that kick just a few minutes ago on the left-hand side of the field from Doherty's point of view, where it bounced close to the line and came to the right and stayed in. So as I say, if you can reverse those angles or the spin he's getting or whatever it is, it might do him a lot better for later in the game. But what a marvellous try to Balmain. Gary Jack full of running. There'll be 3 defenders there, and the last of which was Shane Flanagan, as he got about 10 metres short of halfway. Got into open spaces on the left wing, gave the ball to O'Brien. When he came to another defender, O'Brien went on with it, and he had McNeil, who's always there backing up, to finish it off on the inside. Well, West looked to be quite in control, quite composed early on, and a brilliant virtually length of the field try by Balmain to get the first try on the board. McCann is going to have the attempted conversion, and at this stage he's kicking virtually into the breeze, almost it's crossing a little right to left, but pretty much into the wind, southwester. Not a problem for him. So Ian McCann adds the extras, and it's 6 points to 2. Balmain leading less, and we've got now 28 minutes left to half-time. What a terrier McNeil is when it comes to support play. Marvellous performer for the Tigers. Great work rate in defence, and always on the ball in attack. Doherty kicks off. Sirenan gets a hand to that. O'Brien cleans it up for him in the in-goal area. Former Canterbury winger beat the first man and came out about 18 metres from the goal mouth. Blair took it. Sirenan seemed to be pretty flat as far as that pass from Benny Elias, but anyway, it's a play on from referee Armour. Elias dummies, goes himself, he had a bit of a look and thought I can do better, there's a gap here. McNeil follows Benny Elias's example and goes straight down the middle to get some 12 metres, 13 metres from halfway. Elias back to McCann with the kick. It's charged down by Flanagan. Good chasing by him. It's Gary Jack in possession. Gets around Casado, gives it to McGarry, who's well taken by Ainscow. 8 metres to halfway. Here's McCann. Runs into O'Doherty. And an assist over the top there from Jackson. There's also Flanagan underneath. McFarlane giving it to Maguire. And Maguire well taken by Doug Rawlings at 5'8". Rawlings played second row last week, and spotting a lot of weight to some of the players in the Parramatta pack, but he's back at his usual position of 5'8" today. So last tackle for Balmain, the Sirenan plays it. Brasher gives it up to Elias, puts it right up the midfield bomb, and Brasher's underneath it, but Doherty gets over the top of him to take it well for West. Could have been questionable whether Brasher was onside, but it's play on according to referee Armour, and here's Rawlings at the quarter line. It's been taken there by Maguire. Cogger giving it to Jackson, who juggles it behind him. Hit the ground, but it's okay. Play on. And Grant and Junior Pearce in the defence there. On the blind side through Blair. And McNeil over the top. Underneath was Pearce once more. Hinjak now giving it to O'Doherty, who can't hold on to it. And McFarlane will get possession for Balmain, some 5 metres outside the quarter. They go left through Elias and Neil. Neil's got a bit of space. He puts Brasher into a beautiful gap. Brasher will make the corner. He's got plenty of toe. Casado came at him, but perhaps too late. Referee Armour checking with his touch judges, and it's a try. Second try to Balmain. And it was through McNeil drawing the man and giving a beautiful passage there for Brasher to come onto it. And Timmy Brasher, plenty of toe, the young player. who was a West junior as well, and was under scholarship at Western Suburbs. They let him go, and the Tigers were very eager to snap him up. So that's a 10 points to 2 advantage for Balmain, some 25 minutes out from half-time. And McCann another opportunity to get more points. It's a more difficult kick, but he would have had a very good sighter with that last kick, which wasn't quite as wide out, but it was into the breeze in a similar angle. Actually, there's quite a former West connection in the Balmain ranks when you think about it. It's Gary Jack, who played for West in '81. He came up from the South Coast. Tim Brasher, who played in Jersey Flegg, and also the other junior rep competitions for Western Suburbs. Mick Neal, of course, junior. Gary McFarlane, after leaving Canterbury, had quite some time with West. And looking through the lower grades too, Johnny Elias made a comeback today for Balmain, and would be surprising to see him on first grade at some stage later in the afternoon. So McCann, not an easy kick. Ball's actually come off the mound, so we'll have to reset it. He's a very, very good kicker. A very bright prospect too for Balmain. Big rangy centre, can play well and can kick. Well, we were talking about the position that Balmain could have found themselves in if West could upset them today. Balmain have been full of enthusiasm from the outset. And this kick's hanging in the air. Not quite there, just to the left in the end, but he gave it quite a shot, and you can see just the effect that that breeze has here today. It is a strong breeze, and McCann was kicking right into the teeth of it there. Balmain 10, West 2, 16 minutes in the first half. So Doherty to get play underway once more. Goes to Gary Jack. Sets it up for McNeil. Jack took that well as he was falling to his left. McNeil hit hard by Cameron Blair and contained about 6 metres out from the goal mouth. Sirenen now. Sirenen trying to clear things, and he does well. He takes a couple of players with him. Jackson finally in the tackle. Cogger was also there. Here's Edmed. Edmed comes in to meet the West defence around the ruck. It's Flanagan over the top, and was Blair underneath. Balmain make it to the quarter. It's McGrant to play it. Back for McCann's kick. Doherty underneath it well, takes it well. We'll try and make it back to the halfway line. It's McNeil. And McNeil, of course, as usual, one of the first chasers, but he couldn't get away from Maguire. Here's Rawlings. Has to come back inside Serena. Can't do so, and he's about a metre short of the halfway line. Jackson now giving it to Henjack, to O'Doherty. And Pearce and Edmund pushing backwards. It's a big man, O'Doherty, so a pretty formidable effort. Pass up for Henjack and on to Lidner. Reverse for Henjack. Finds Casado and makes it to halfway before being taken there by Grant. Here's Jackson going straight up in the ruck. Unloads well. Bukowski spreads it wider to Lidner. Lidner finds a gap which really Rawlings couldn't get onto cleanly. Had he collected that ball, he would have found himself in space. And of course, as it went further on to Cogger, it became a knock-on. So scrum to pack right on halfway. Look at the first one for Balmain to feed. So one presumes they'll win it if they do. Neil puts it in, so the scrums are 2-1 in favour of West. Brasher now giving it to Jack, who steps inside very nicely around Casado and Lidner, going back in field. With another man there, and Bukowski comes back out to the open. Neil gave it on to Pearce, who's running at the moment, taken by Casado around the legs, and Cogger over the top. 5 metres in West territory. Here's McFarlane. Makes another 5 or 6 metres before Jackson takes him around the legs, and Doherty there as well. Here's Edmed now powering under the ball. He makes good progress as well. Only a few metres short of the quarter line in centre field. Benny Elias to Serena, and West Lidner in particular being penalised for inside the 5, and it should be a very big also Flanagan penalised there by referee Armand, so a pretty easy kick for McCann. Opportunity to make it 12-2. Balmain on those 3 or 4 players were finding it fairly easy up the ruck, up the middle of the ruck there, just going one out. Edmed and the other big men going from halfway to the quarter line in just 3 players. Well, 21 minutes to half time. 10 points to 2, and for a kicker of McCann's ability, it should be pretty much a gift of 2 points to the Tigers. McCann moves in. And it's there, so 2 out of 3 for Ian McCann, and a scoreline of 12 points to 2, Balmain over West. Well, I'm sure that that try that Gary Jack set up, the first try for Balmain, would disturb the confidence of most teams. Beautiful, virtually length of the field try. The West looked quite composed and very enthusiastic prior to that. But Balmain have just lifted from that early try. But McNeil ran in, and of course put on the second one. And that penalty making it a very handy lead for them after the first quarter of the match. O'Brien's under it, takes it right in the corner. Tries to centre the play, runs into O'Doherty. And some help there from Jackson, throw Bukowski. Dummy from Elias. And the West forwards stand by that one. The ball's gone loose from Elias. 6 again ruled, so referee Harmon claiming that the West players took it out of his grasp. McNeil has lost that one, O'Doherty's come up with it. So tit for tat. So West with an opportunity to attack at the quarter line as Bukowski goes over it now with 3 Tigers in attendance. Flanagan gives it to Henjak. Crowd screaming for the outside backs of Balmain to be kept back to 5. Tackled by Sirinen there. And it'll be Lidner to play it. Got 20 metres out. There's O'Doherty getting a bit of an angle up as he goes through the first defender in Grant. At 9 metres away now, Western Suburbs. Henjak to Rawlings. He dummied back to Henjak, but gave it to Blair, coming through very nicely. And he's finally wrapped up by McFarlane and also Benny Elias. Last tackle for West. Jackson under Rawlings, gives it to the right to Henjak. Henjak cut out of band very well. Casado got it. Casado's pass to Mackay goes loose. And Henjak will clean up the dregs, but the referee said no, it's a knock on, we'll do the changeover. So McNeil to resume possession of Balmain. He played it to Gary Jack, stepped inside Mackay and made a couple of metres before Casado grabbed him. Here's McCann, runs right to the quarter. So Balmain able to relieve pressure very easily. They make ground straight up over the advantage line each time. Here's Maguire. O'Doherty clinks to him, spins into the ground. Right in centre field, just outside the quarter, Elias to McFarlane. Gets around Jackson and finally has his legs taken out from him, about 11 metres out from the quarter. And the tackle there by Trevor Cocker. There's Sirinen now, straight through the middle. Sirinen unloads to McNeil as usual, backing up. Neil's into open space. He's got Benny Elias, but Doherty comes to him and claims him ball and all, some 9 metres out from the west quarter. Here's O'Brien. Over to McFarlane, wraps around McFarlane. Here's Brasher with it now. Gives it on to Maguire. Maguire's got support. McCann gives it to Grant. Grant on to McGarry. Gary steps inside instead of setting sail for the line. It was a good pass to Brasher, who touches down. I thought momentarily McGarry might have scored it by not heading to that corner, but he found support in Brasher inside and he put the pass between 2 or 3 West players. It was very well done in the end. Bit of step off the right foot inside, and then the ball doing the rest of the work to elude the West defence, and Brasher finishing up very nicely. So some classy tries from Balmain so far. And that rate, of course, up the left side originally, and coming back to the right-hand side, the open side, and very, very well finished by Brasher. It all came from originally a Sirinen break. We had McNeil to support him. So Balmain looking very, very classy in the opening 20-odd minutes, 23 minutes or so of this game. That was the second try for Tim Brasher. And McCann's trying to convert that for a 3 out of 4 effort. $16 points to 2, 17 minutes to half time. And McCann with an opportunity to really put Balmain in the ascendancy. He's got it. It went to the left a little as that breeze was coming across his kick from right to left, but it got in. So 3 out of 4, the success rate for Ian McCann, and the scoreline 18 points to 2, Balmain leading Wests. Doherty once more, and the kick looks like it's going to go to that same position, down to the far left-hand corner on the opposite side of the ground as we look from our camera position. And Sirinen is under it this time, gives it to O'Brien, and he runs into O'Doherty, almost at the quarter. There's Sirinen powering up, but in fact Elias goes to the blind side and picks up McFarlane and makes a couple of metres. Taken there by Mackay. Here's Pearce. Pearce runs into O'Doherty. And the pass went across Maguire. It's finally picked up there by Steve Edmed. Midway between quarter and halfway. As Jack clears it. And the kick goes over. Ainsco's head bounces up for him to gather fairly easily. Some of those Balmain chasers were in the 5. Yes, I was about to say they were very close to it. And referee Armand has penalised him for being too close to the ball. Got to stay 5 metres back until it's taken by the defending team. So that's the second penalty of the match, both so far over to West. It's not out. Cardinal sin. Kick not out. Well taken over his head by Gary Jack. He runs it back. Doherty gets him around one leg there. Elias to McFarlane. And Rawlings in the defence along with O'Doherty. Thomas Jackson in 11. Edmed back inside to Sirinen. He's hit pretty hard. Extra hit from Jackson there, but it was O'Doherty, the original defender. Also Flanagan in the defence. Here's Maguire. Maguire trying to get his arms free for the pass to Grant, but it didn't come off. McFarlane now over halfway. Taken there by Blair and also by Jackson. Jackson's done a lot of work so far. It's the last tackle, and the kick goes downtown from Balmain. And that was a very cool effort by Ainscough and Doherty, and it only just really wriggled the right way for them there, going over the touch and goal line. It was touch and go, whether it might go over the actual touchline and be a good kick in the end for Balmain. But anyway, back to the quarter for the tap. Casado took it up. Here now is Bukowski making good ground. And he's about 11 metres short of halfway. Blindside for Henjak. On to Jackson. Jackson met by Maguire and also by Grant. 5 metres short of halfway now. Ainsco's pass to Henjak, reversed it back into O'Doherty. And he's met by Benny Elias with McFarlane around the legs. Flanagan a dummy half. He didn't give it to Blair, he gave the open side to Henjak. Lindner comes back in towards the ruck. And his tackle on halfway. It's the last tackle. Goes to Henjak. He steps back in around Benny Elias, gets a kick in, but it's too deep. Too much on that one. And it was out over the touchline by some 6 or 7 metres. That was the last, so it's a changeover once more. Balmain to get immediate possession. Benny Elias will play it to McNeil. 2 metres inside the West Territory. Wayne Pearce gets about 10 metres inside. It's Gary Jack. It's for Gary. Some work coming in from the right wing. So Cameron Blair in the defence. Elias to Sirinen. Sirinen puts it out the back. Brescia has to hurry in. O'Brien to clean that up. Here's McNeil. Gives it to Gary McFarlane. McFarlane's got Pearce. Pearce's pass knocked down by West. It's 6 again. That's the proper call, I feel, although a second knock on taking place. So referee Armand was calling 6 again for the interference by the West player on the attempted pass by Pearce. But then the Balmain player couldn't pick it up, so it became a knock on. Henjak defeated. And he's successful. Well wrapped up by McNeil. A lot of indecision there. No real support by Ivan Henjak. No runners coming anywhere from the back line. Rawlings now giving it to Casado. Brush has got him. And Pearce trying to wrestle the ball away. It does go on the ground. But the ref classifies that as a knock-on. So it'll be a scrum feed for Balmain to feed. Half to the quarter line. Have to follow the progress. Brasher and Grant see if they need to change very much during the game. Here's Sirinen now. Ronaldo would well. Gives it to Jack. He's got some space. Can they catch him? Jack gives it inside actually to Henjak, who saves the day. Balmain are looking very dangerous with plenty of support, but Henjak cleaned up the pass, possibly called for it, in fact, from Gary Jack. Sirinen put him into touch and he'd be penalised for it. The claim from referee Armand that he, in his second effort, actually pushed him out, but Might have been a little unlucky Paul Siren on that occasion. However, that's 3 penalties to 0 for West. The tap from Flanagan on the quarter line. Henjak to Mackay. Try runs into Elias. And Maguire's also there around the legs. Centre field. And a penalty now, 4th penalty of the match to West. The Balmain being inside the 5, particularly Brasher. Brasher was singled out by referee Armand on that occasion. So the penalty just 10 metres short of halfway. Breeze at the moment pretty much straight across the ground, a westerly. But it's intensifying, I would think. So we're 7 metres inside Balmain territory. Here's Ainscough. Ainscough comes to McFarlane and also Edmed there. They push him back. Markers were standing side by side, but Armand says play on. There's Jackson. Surin around his legs, the opposite number, and Pearce over the top. Apparently another loose ball. Jackson's let that one slip away. May well have been with a little bit of help from Pearce. Wayne Pearce has been slodging the ball in earlier tackles. McNeil defeated. Balmain ball. Mick comes back to the right-hand side. Scrum virtually in centre field, getting away from his back line. And an injury to Michael Neal, touching a shin there. Very rarely responds to pain. He's a very hardy character. He'd be lucky to be 9 stone ringing wet. He plays with a tremendous amount of heart, but he very quickly went down there, clutching that knee or the top of the shin. And supporting players, Pearce and Surin particularly, very quick to call for the stretcher. Balmain people bring it out. Dennis Tundy there with McNeil as well. A lot of concern. There was no hesitation from referee Armour to hold play. There was no thought of taking the ball away at 5 metres and playing it again with another Balmain player. Well, this is really bad luck for McNeil. Tremendous worker. Have the mutual respect of supporters here, whether they be Balmain or Western Suburb supporters. He's given great service to both clubs. And he'd hate missing out on any of the match. Fierce competitor. But obviously in pain as the play resumes, with McFarlane making it just to halfway. Elias comes back to the right to Maguire. Tried to step around the tackle of Jackson, but he clung to his legs. Maguire plays on. And a penalty going to Balmain for Jackson hanging onto the jumper. So referee Armand interpreted that he was in no position to be a marker. And once Maguire was getting underway, the whole of the jumper wasn't on. Balmain now got number 40, Matt Parrish, a fresh reserve coming out straight away to take Michael Neal's part. So Balmain, after their first penalty of the match, take the tap. And it's given back to Elias. It skips under one, but Ainscough again, club's calling for it. Takes possession. There's a fight on the field there with Flanagan putting plenty in on his opposite Elias. He had Elias underneath him and putting plenty of punches in. Both one touch charges in already, and the other one coming from the far side. As the fight continues on, Elias not happy with the treatment at all. Don't know what started that off, but Flanagan got very excited. And it's Flanagan there with referee Armand as he gets rid of the other West players and wants to talk to Flanagan and his captain Henjak. Also dismisses Balmain players. But it was a pretty healthy stoush there. And Flanagan with blood on his face, around the eye and bridge of the nose region. May well have been hit first, but he certainly got very upset. Surin being waved away despite his former occupation as a policeman. The referee Armand doesn't need any expert witnesses or anything of that nature, he claims. Maguire and Pearce are also in the discussion. Pearce is captain, of course.
The chariot races at the half-time break report down near the legal
both players at this stage
charities involved in the tug-of-war. They go down
the lecture situation. There have to be some syndicate, I would think, for both parties. Well, apparently not. Maguire Didn't seem to be one of the combatants, but maybe he had some verbal there. He's got 5 minutes in the sin bin for his effort, whatever it was. Rather strange. Flanagan and Elias were the guys who were in it from the start. And Elias obviously out of that altercation judged to be the culprit because the penalty going to Western Suburbs. Penalties for them now are 4-1. Well, there's 6 minutes to half time. It's 18 points to 2 for Balmain. Tap from Flanagan. Across to Henjek now with Ainscough coming in from the left wing. And he's taken there by McFarlane. Henjek cuts out Jackson. Gave it to Bukowski. And he got his pass on to Cameron Blair, sorry. Henjek now with Rawlings. Rawlings gives it out to Ainscough, who tries to take it one-handed. That was never really on. Pass was fractionally in front of him, I suppose, but with reach over both hands, he should have controlled that ball, one feels. So West's got more progressively untidy in their handling in this match. Well, might have looked very sharp. Rawlings. So a win there against the head for West in that scrum. 5-3 to their advantage in that area. Rawlings now gives it down the blind side to Lidner. Shakes off a couple of tackles. Pearce comes at him with the assistance over the top of Brasher. 5 metres inside Balmain territory. Cogger to Henjek to O'Doherty. He storms ahead into Edmed. Also Matt Parrish there. There's Henjek once more. Lines up for the pass to Jackson. Jackson gave it to Rawlings. It's judged to be forward. It was touch and go really. There wasn't a lot in it. We've seen some passes in other matches already in this round this weekend that were much more forward than that one. The referee Armand is on the job. Some of the West supporters, as you can probably hear, don't necessarily agree with it. So what's new? Here's Elias. This time Balmain do get it. It was a bit of a messy one, but they get it with the feed. Gary Jack taking 10 metres short of halfway right in centre field. Tackles there Casado and Rawlings. There's McCann now. Makes a few more metres before Rawlings hits him over the top with O'Doherty underneath. Scurry from dummy half by Grant. Grant gets through too. He beat Jackson's tackle. When he comes to Doherty, beats him pointless. Mackay coming across. And Mackay finally does get him just a few metres short of the goal mouth. But a great individual run by Grant going from dummy half. Beat Jackson pointless, which isn't easy because Jackson's been getting some very good tackles in. Here's Brasher now. Brasher decides to go back instead of doing the wraparound, and they ran into space before finally being collected by 3 West defenders. Henjek in there along with Jackson. Comes to Elias. Elias thought about the long pass. He gets around O'Doherty. The ball just squeezes out. Parrish can't clean it up and West a good possession. This is Jackson to play just a few metres from his goal mouth. Henjek. Giving it there, I think, to Bukowski. Made a couple more metres before being collected by Surinam and Parrish. Here's Cameron Blair back into the run. Taken some 10 metres short of the quarter. Henjek to Lidner. Lidner challenged by McCann, carries him for a while. McFarlane assists in the tackle and he's brought down on the quarter. We go blind side. Blair decides to chip it over. In fact, it was Flanagan put the chip in. It's picked up by McGarry, and Flanagan chases him and puts him down 10 metres inside Western Suburbs half. There's Gary Jack going across field to O'Doherty, who holds him ball and all, and an assist there from Steve Jackson. There's Edmund. Edmund just a couple of metres short of the quarter. There's Rawlings who got him down. There's McFarlane trying to thread his way back inside. Bukowski couldn't quite hang onto him. In fact, it was him who was in the previous tackle, not Jackson's, I call. Here comes Elias now on the blind side, getting Surinam away. Surinam gets those big legs pumping, and he'll make the line despite the attentions of Doherty and another West defender. Referee Armand checking with the touch judge as to whether it's a try. And the referee is assisted there by the touch judge of the blue flag. Says no, he was held up. It seemed that Doherty did take him front on. And the other West player, who was Mackay, was able to stop Surinam from rolling over. So pretty desperate stuff, but it was put into the open space, Surinam, and once he got a bit of momentum up, those knees came up around his chest. Strong run. Scrum to be fed by Henjek. West ball. Here's Rawlings now. dummied to give it to another player there in Doherty. And went himself some 12 metres out from the line. It was taken by Elias. It's pretty fair for the hooker there. Henjak going backwards in the end. Pushed backwards, particularly by Grant, and also with the help from McCann. West trying desperately to get to the quarter, get some space. We'll go forward first of all and be able to put that kick in. And this is Bukowski just a few metres over the quarter. Maguire's back from the sin bin, takes his place in the Balmain ranks. Here's O'Doherty off Henjak's pass, gives it back to Henjak. To Rawlings, who finds Doherty running strongly across the quarter line, trying to evade Brasher, gives it to Cogger, who does evade Brasher, comes to Mackay, back inside to Doherty, but it's really on the ground. Doherty couldn't pick it up. Ainscough from the left wing is right across there to collect, puts in a chip to try and beat Brasher. The Brasher comes back and gathers that ball. So Jack trying to work it back to halfway. Ball's gone loose. Flanagan, I think, probably reeked it away from him. The West have got possession. And it'll be Mackay to play. Here's O'Doherty. Almost got through the tackle of Elias. He clung to him as Maguire came and assisted on halfway there. Flanagan to Henjak. Rawlings out wide to Lindner. Lindner fires it out to Ainscough, not really looking where it should go. It went to Ainscough's feet. He did well to travel with his legs. Henjak back to Rawlings to Flanagan. Flanagan runs into three defenders, Parrish, Elias and also Maguire. At halfway, Rawlings back to the left. Henjak, fairly well passed from Bukowski, but Lindner takes it. The ball's wrestled free, and Balmain are in possession there through McGarry. Just at the halfway mark. Parrish's pass to Maguire, to Elias. He tries to step back inside, but Blair takes him. The ball's loose. West will have it through Jackson, giving it onto O'Doherty. O'Doherty goes left. Greater numbers out to the right, but O'Doherty still making ground. Got through Benny Elias's tackle before it was Maguire and McFarlane. The two backs. Jackson's pass to Henjak. Rawlings had to jump up for it. Puts a kick for Doherty to chase, and he is chasing it. But Gary Jack should cover it well. Gives it one hand, and that is enough, although look at it at the time, to go out over the dead ball line. And that's half-time, with Balmain leading by 18 points to 2. Very entertaining first half. Of course, some brilliant tries to Balmain. 2 of their 3 tries, exceptionally good quality. We'll be back after this break.
I've been to cities that never close down, from LA to Rome and old London town, but no matter how far or how wide I roam, I still call Australia home. I'm always traveling, I love being free, so I keep leaving the sun and the sea. But my heart lies waiting over the phone. I still call Australia home.
The team's coming back onto the Campbelltown Sports Ground for the second half. Balmain 18-2 in the lead, and a comfortable situation for them, but the Tigers can't afford to relax in any way, shape or form. It's very congested in their part of the competition table, and a loss today would be disastrous for them. But of course, they've put good points on the board in the first half, and the job's really in front of Western Suburbs to get back into this match. 3 sparkling tries by the Tigers, particularly their first and third tries, and a marvellous break to get things rolling by Gary Jack. And he ran some 50 or 60 metres to give to O'Brien and ultimately to McNeil, who scored the first of the Balmain tries. McNeil, of course, not out there. He's injured his knee, it would seem, or the top part of his shin. There's a lot of concern about him, and he was taken on stretcher from the field. Here now, getting back into it is Trevor Cogger, fielding the ball from the kickoff. So it was actually fullback Doherty, but they made it to the quarter now. West on the second play. Casado playing it. McCann up after Flanagan, and this is there from Edmund. Comes out wide through Henjak to Cameron Blair. He's taken just a couple of metres over the quarter and virtually centre field. Surin in the defence with Brasher. This is Bukowski. The last tackle for West. Obviously kick it, and they'll be kicking over the breeze. The breeze right to left as far as Doherty's kick goes there. It's running pretty much straight across the field at the moment, a westerly wind. Gary Jack, midway between the quarter and halfway. Here's Steve O'Brien scurrying for dummy half, and got a bit of speed up and then straightened, and ran into Flanagan and Bukowski. It's McCann once more in amongst the forwards. Big centre makes it to halfway, and Doherty finally on top of him. Matt Parrish, dummy half. Gives it to McFarlane. McFarlane has settled in first grade with the Tigers. It has contributed a great deal to their recent successes. Here's Edmed trying to break the line, getting up above the defenders, trying to get those hands free for the pass, but he couldn't get it to Maguire, who was coming through there. Last tackle for Balmain. Elias decides to put it down the middle, a fairly low trajectory kick. And Mackay has to go back for it. It was nowhere near Doherty, the fullback, so it was fairly well placed. Balmain chases, having plenty of time to come up there. Surin is the mark. It was held actually by Mackay after Mackay played it. It's a warranted penalty. Silly mistake. Mackay hanging on to Surin so he couldn't chase the ball carrier. It's Balmain's second penalty of the match. West have so far had 4. And some debate between Pearce and Elias whether it should have been a kick for goal, but Elias put it out. Balmain to attack inside the quarter. Elias takes the tap, gives it to Parrish, to Brasher, to Grant. And Brasher sort of looking to change between centre and 5'8". Elias keeps it going to the right to Pearce. Doherty clings to him with Rawlings, some 13 metres out. Here comes Edmed, powering straight on right towards the goal mouth. And good tackle around the legs by Bukowski, help from Flanagan. Comes to the left, Surin. Penny Elias back around the back, gets it to Gary Jack, pushes one of his own players away, and the referee Armin says the Brasher was an obstruction there, so the penalty going to Western Suburbs. The locals like that. The penalties are 5-2 in favour of the Magpies. Scrums at the stage favour West by 6-4. One of those a win against the feed, against the head. So Flanagan's tap kick to Henjak. Graham Mackay, met by Parrish and McFarland, and well, particularly there was Maguire. 10 metres short of halfway. Henjak now gives it up for Jackson. And Brasher met him head on. Some assistance from Benny Elias. 5 metres short of halfway. They leave out Blair, they give it to Doherty. His team's over halfway, try to get the ball inside, and does so very nicely to Lidner, who pops it up for Henjak. So a good sequence of play there by West, making it about 10 metres short of the quarter. We'll come back to the open side through Blair. Rawlings giving it to Casado, wraps around, but Rawlings can't take it, came off his shoulder. McCann's picked it up, he should be able to sprint for the line. Crashes there, so is O'Brien, but McCann's got enough toe to get away from Rawlings and score just in behind the post. Well, Western Suburbs looking enterprising, but the ball couldn't be held by Doug Rawlings. It came off his shoulder in that wrap around, and McCann was able to pick up a fairly easy bounce for him. It was a fortuitous one for Balmain, and he sprinted some 55-60 metres to score that try.
The try for Balmain scored by number 4, Ian McCann.
So McCann now try to go with his 3 out of 4 successful goal kicks. He should be able to convert his own try. It's right in front. So 22-2 scoreline for Balmain, 5 minutes into the second half.
Canterbury 18, Cronulla 6. Football Stadium, Illawarra 10, South 4.
Predictable who's and ahs around the crowd as the progress scores from the other grounds are announced here. McCann taking a little bit of time over this one. I think he wanted a few deep breaths after the long sprint. Five minutes of the second half gone. And the Tigers doing exactly what their coach Warren Ryan wanted, scoring first in the second half to keep the momentum going. McCann converts, so he's kicked 4 from 5, and the scoreline is 24 points to 2.
The try converted by Ian McCann.
Well, Warren Ryan, of course, leading Balmain at the end of this year and teaming up with West. It'll be interesting to see just what developments take place there. The rumours are, of course, he'll bring some players with him if the draft is in position, and just prevent it from doing so. He should also develop some of those promising young fellows that are with the Western Suburbs club. Sirenin, full board, takes that well. Casado also does well to hang on with the assistance there of Ainscough. It's McGarry now trying to centre the play. Some 6 metres outside the Balmain quarter. Taken up for McFarlane, dummies, and makes good progress through the tackles of Bukowski and Doherty, but he's lost the possession. And Doherty's got it. It's a little habit he has. He, several times in the match, comes up with the ball. Parrish took him. Bukowski gave it across to Jackson. Junior Pearce tried to take it, but the ball got out the back to Casado. Casado, a little wrestling match going on there. Very rangy centre, of course. Casado's a bit of a praying mantis. Very hard for a smaller back to try and contain. So we're some 12 metres inside Balmain territory. Flanagan gives it to Henjak, to Rawlings. Rawlings steps inside Elias. Maguire and Edmund, the prop forwards, taking back to the left. Henjak to Bukowski. Long ball out for the winger Ainscough. Took that one. Took it with both hands. He got away from 2 men, including O'Brien. He comes to Gary Jack, and he can't quite get away from Jack. He tried to get the ball inside, but actually in the end holds onto it, which was the wise move. It's the last tackle. Western attack. Henjak decides to put it between the legs of the Balmain players. Brasher reads that very well. Flanagan was coming up with that very quickly. It looked like at one stage he might get that ball. Tim Brasher reading the kick from Henjak superbly to stave off that attacking raid from Western Suburbs. 8 minutes of the second half. Balmain 24, West 2. The line drop out to come from Gary Jack. Good long kick to the benefit of the breeze. Doherty rather gets 2 hands to it between Doherty and O'Doherty. A little bit of confusion on my part. Brett Doherty, the fullback, running it back towards the halfway. Maguire spoken to here by referee Armans. Seemed to go in fairly high. It's obviously the thought of the referee. And warrants a penalty according to the ref. So penalties Westway now by 6 to 2. This one will be taken just a few metres inside the West half. Jamie Ainscough, the left winger today, to take that kick. So Dockley apparently shaken up enough not to take the kick for the line. Touch was found midway between quarter and halfway. Flanagan might have fudged a metre as O'Doherty brings it up to the quarter line. Gets away from Parrish and a couple of other tackles. Parrish comes again. Ball went behind O'Doherty according to the ref. And so with Flanagan to play it. Here's Henjak now, giving it to Bukowski. Well hit by Sirenin, anticipating it and running onto the ball as it arrived on Bukowski. Here's Henjak. Didn't wrap around with Rawlings. In fact, he gave it to Blair. And Blair was taken quite well by Maguire. He wasn't buying any of that. Henjak again to Lidner. Lidner almost to the quarter. It's Parrish and McFarlane to wrap him up. Blindside again. This is Mackay. Mackay puts it on the toe. Comes off Elias to Gary Jack, so that all the West chasers on side there. There's Gary Jack weaving it back, and well swung to the ground there with Blair over the top. But the guy who did well to contain Gary Jack was Casado. Brasher at dummy half. Goes on his own. Casado and Blair again for line. And they play 20 metres out from the Balmain line. Got off the player quickly enough, according to referee Armand. Both the defenders too slow. They wanted to quick play the ball, so that's the third penalty of the match for Balmain.
Stephen Nolan, come to the announcers booth, please. The back of the grandstand.
10 minutes of the second half. This kick hasn't gone out. It does ultimately, though, off the hands of Jamie Ainscough. So it will be a scrum. And Balmain will get defeated, so in a roundabout sort of way, if they can retain possession from the scrum, it'll be similar to getting the tackle.
Taken by number 40, Jason Liddon.
Jason Liddon on the field now. Fresh replacement that John Bale has put on for West. And Bukowski is off. Balmain get that scrum. Almost at halfway, Brasher playing it. Is Pearce, got right around Liddon, just stepped inside him comfortably. It needed Liddon to take him some 9 metres inside West territory. He's run by Parrish from dummy half. and he's collected by Liddon. So both the fresh replacements meeting each other. McFarlane and Liddon are over the top. And I think the ball has changed hands here. McFarlane lost it earlier in the game as well. Doherty doing that party piece of his and coming up with possession as Flanagan tries to get away from dummy half. McFarlane takes him 10 metres outside the quarter in West Territory as Jackson tries to power into the ball and makes a few more metres before he was taken by McCann and Elias. Liddon to Henjack to Liddon. He steps inside Maguire. Sirenen wraps him up 10 metres short of halfway in centre field. It's Blair now. Blair does that habitual thing really of coming back inside into the ruck. Tries to get in behind the markers. It's the last tackle. And it's put downtown by Ivan Henjack, but he had a similar kick in the first half that was too healthy. That was about 5-6 metres over the sideline as well. That was the last, so a changeover will take place. Instant possession to Balmain. Through Edmonds played the ball. Parrish gives it to Elias. To Pearce. Well taken there. Really wrapped up very nicely by Casado. Sorry, Mackay that was. Tried the first time actually, it was Casado. And the play now is 10 metres inside the West Territory. McFarlane plays it. Here's Edmed. Edmed taken over the top by Liddner. And Doherty getting through some good defence too around the legs. Edmed to play in centre field. Tigers go to the right. Elias crisscrosses with Sirenen. Tempted to take his eyes off that one. I think basically to see where he was going to run. There seemed to be a gap for him inside. Flanagan came up with possession. And West came up with a penalty for the Balmain players still being inside the 5 metres. Referee Harmon has favoured West with the penalties by 7-3. At this stage, the scrums are 6-5 in favour of West. Only the one against the feed, going West way. So we're back into Balmain territory. Mackay with it to Flanagan for the tap, about 7 metres inside the Tigers' territory. And Doherty comes down the blind. Sirenen wraps him up. There's Jackson to Blair. Second row is passing it on. And Maguire and Pearce wrapping up Blair. Jackson reverses it to the right-hand side from Henjack to Liddner. Liddner's taken vigorously there by Sirenen. It's a very strong game for Sirenen. His test selection tonight is Rawlings coming back inside. Got it away to Jackson. Finds a runner in Doherty. Doherty just gets away from the ankle tap of McGarry. Goes out to Cogger. Cogger feeds it on out to Ainscough on the left wing. He's got to try and get around Gary Jack, but can't do so. And fires a wild pass back inside the pressure. Well, Jamie Ainscough, a young player with plenty of potential, has played in junior rep games this year. The 21s rep side particularly. But he does some silly things. His inexperience comes through and with those sort of wild passes. Earlier on, trying to take the ball with one hand, etc. Here's Steve O'Brien. And the referee saw the little light going there from Flanagan. So that's really paid dividends for West. So we're Balmain to get possession and get the play back up towards halfway. 6 more tackles. Gary Jack will opt for the eastern side of the ground. That breeze basically right behind the ball the way that went across the paddock there. Matt Parrish has the tap to Edmed. Should make it to halfway before the West forwards take him. It's Flanagan riding him over the top and Liddon underneath. Parrish again up from Maguire. A few more metres up through the ruck as Doherty greets him with Jackson. Go the blind side to Pearce. Pearce well taken by Liddon and help from Cogger over the top. 10 metres inside West Territory as Edmed powers onto it. Doherty tries to cling to him, but Edmed did well to get it away to McFarlane, who dummied and came back inside. He's been using the dummy quite a bit today, sometimes with success. Not on that occasion though. Here's Parrish trying to skip away from dummy half. He's got Blair around his legs, got the ball away to McFarlane. Again the dummy in evidence, but it would have been well served to get it away, I think, especially since it's the last tackle. And here's Parrish to Elias. They use the hands to Brasher. Has to use the kick to Mackay. Mackay takes that chip, and O'Brien comes towards him with the help of James Grant. Penalty for Grant not getting up the tackle player quickly enough so that Mackay could play it. So referee Harmon has been consistent in that area. There's been a penalty or two each way. Penalties favouring West by some 8-4. Stockety's kick. 10 metres short of halfway. Didn't have much angle, but didn't get much ground just the same. Here's Mackay trying to make it to halfway. He almost slipped out of the tackle of Maguire, but he clung to him. Planning up for Henjak. Bukowski. Sorry, that must be Lytton Bukowski, of course, was replaced by Lytton. The Norton was the filled me there on his jumper. Here's Rawlings. Oh, well taken, Casado. Good tackle by Surin. And Casado not really marked. Grant didn't get up quickly enough, so he plays it forward. Still keep it alive. Mackay trying to break the tackle of O'Brien, but can't do so. Surin assisted. Henjak to Rawlings. Rawlings gives it to Doherty. Doherty gets through the first man. Beat Brasher originally, but it was Pearce who cleaned him up 10 metres inside Balmain territory. The last tackle for West goes through Rawlings. Rawlings got it to Lindner. Lindner's going to put it up. Could be far too much. In fact, goes into the front row of the bleachers. Not necessarily renowned for his kicking game, Bob Lindner, and holding his head about that one. So the changeover that happened on the quarter line, Elias plays it. McGarry has a bit of a scamper across the quarter line. Centres the play for Balmain. Lytton was the defender there. There's Brasher going from dummy half straight ahead. Again, Lytton around the legs. So some 23 minutes remaining, 24 points to 2 Balmain. As Maguire clears the quarter, makes about 8 metres. Here's McFarlane. He straightens and goes. Doherty clinging, and Jackson around the legs. Also some help from Flanagan. 10 metres short of halfway at the Tigers. Here's Gary Jack's kick. Straight to Brett Doherty, but over his outstretched hands. Went backwards, of course. He'll try and bring it up to the quarter. Gives the pass here to Ainscough. Ainscough tries to get around Pearce. Does it with the pass to Cogger. And Cogger is brought down some 8 metres short of halfway. Steve Edmund, the prop, who took him around the legs. Lytton did well to hold that. Henjak. Pass was not one feels from Elias, but not interpretation according to referee Armand. Lytton had cleaned it up. So it must have been the pressure that Elias put on, forced a loose pass from Henjak. Henjak at dummy half there, giving it to Jackson. Jackson trying to come in between Maguire and Parrish, but they ride into the ground with the help from Gary McFarlane. Right at halfway now, Wes. At the back from O'Doherty. A bit of flash from the front rower. Casado has got anywhere to go. The centres took him, both Grant and Brasher. Brasher technically playing 5'8" today. It's a last tackle and very lazy play of the ball really by Rawlings, but play goes on. And the kick from West does find touch. Some 6 metres short of the quarter. Benny Elias. All kinds of confusion with Littner in the road in the dummy half, also Rawlings there. Rawlings protesting, but obviously the no avail. The penalty had been given. It's Balmain's 5th of the match. West have 8. Gary Jack the fine touch with a very good kick. Taking the play right back to 10 metres short of the Western Suburbs quarter. So Parrish took the tap, gave it to Elias, and Maguire made another metre or so. And he's putting all his weight on that ball, Elias. Well, penalty is against, I think, Lytton for holding the leg of Balmain player trying to come through after that ball was raked. He had no objection, I feel, to the way it was raked back. Maguire playing it at the bad habit he has, he puts the ball on the ground and puts his weight on the ball. Of course, once it's on the ground, it can be raked. But the fact that the leg was held was the reason for that penalty. So Balmain going ahead and leaps and bounds with the penalty count. It's 8-6 now. A tap from Parrish to Elias. Here's Brasher, straightens off the right foot, and Doherty and Flanagan to cling to him as he makes ground there inside the quarter. Virtually in centre field. We'll leave out to Pearce, goes to McFarlane, comes inside of Doherty, but collected by Blair and also Flanagan. Coming to the left of the field. Balmain about 10 metres out. Brasher will play it. Gary Jack gives it to Edmed, powering ahead there. Flanagan clinging to his legs. Doherty and also Mackay, the winger in the defence as well. Parrish, dummy half. I suspect Parrish was actually hooker in the last scrum. Here's an intercept from Cogger. Cogger's racing away. Always had a lot of pace, Trevor Cogger, even though he's in the twilight of his career. His testimonial year and enough to go the distance and score under the pace. We'll get a buzz out of that Trevor Cogger, one of the loyalist players that Western Suburbs would ever have had. And a well-rewarded try there. Well, Balmain getting a bit fancy with the wraparounds inside the west quarter. And it just set up beautifully for Cogger to intercept. He did the rest, running the best part of 80 metres. Well, a very popular figure in the Magpie ranks, Trevor Cogger. This is his 11th season with the club, a local junior. And the Magpies, of course, have had activities for his testimonial year in 1990. In his early days, of course, Trevor Cogger's pace was quite electrifying in his half and 5/8 duties. Perhaps not quite as quick these days, but there was enough pace there. They just couldn't make any impression on him, the Balmain backs, when they turned to chase. So here's the conversion attempts. Doherty steers it through. So Brett Doherty has kicked 2 out of 2. And a little bit more respectability on the scoreboard for West.
The conversion successful, kick by number 1, Brett Doherty. Balmain 24.
So we've got 18 minutes left to half-time. Balmain 24, Western Suburbs 8. Get McCann to restart the play for the Tigers. Get underway once more. Right down to the in goal. It's a popular corner to kick towards because that's really where the breeze is going. And I think the idea would be by each of the coaches that the players there would have to contend with the sun in their eyes as they try and take it. So Balmain now a bit more vigour in the defence in these couple of players as Lytton made it to the quarter. Rawlings gives it to O'Doherty. He's challenged there by Benny Elias. Pressure also in the tackle. Pretty ragged market defence by Balmain, but play on says Armin. Cogger once again with the ball, but he's got McGarry around his legs. He got it away though well to Brett Doherty. He in turn gets it away well to Jackson, who gives up a very loose one-hander to Edmed and says thanks very much. He powers ahead inside the Western Suburbs quarter. Rawlings took him. Here's Junior Pearce going straight ahead. The ball came loose. Again, O'Doherty having success in getting it loose, but means 6 again for Balmain. Doherty couldn't control it, and the Tigers have come up with it on the quarter. It's Flanagan who made the tackle on Brasher. Still to the left, even only 2 Balmain players are out in the left half of the field. It's Grant and Parrish at dummy half, giving it to Maguire. Parrish, of course, originally joining Balmain as a centre from the Eastwood Rugby Union Club, but I think he's basically found his way right to the front row playing hooker in part of this match. And doing a hooker's role at dummy half. Feeds it left to Elias. Elias reverses it back inside to Sirenen. Ball a forward pass from the crowd. The referee says play on. It was Blair and Lytton in the defence there. Last tackle for the Tigers. Long pass from Elias to Pearce. Pearce has found McGarry. Can he get around his man? He can. He comes back inside after the impact of the tackle. And Ainscough came into his second time. Pearce's kick went into plenty of legs. In fact, in the end, O'Doherty gives it across to the winger there at Ainscough. Back to O'Doherty. O'Doherty, as he got the legs, he almost stumbled over. The big prop doing well, though. Firstly, to get possession for West, then give it to the winger, then back the winger up. Here's Henjak now. There's plenty of numbers for West. Rawlings. Rawlings to Blair. Blair pivots there. Tried to get inside the defence, but perhaps quick hands outside would have been the go. Casado, for example, throwing his arms up out wide in disappointment. Here's Cogger. On now to Jackson. Jackson trying to get up to halfway, but Sirenen was there. He's pushed a long way back by Matt Parrish. With a scraggy play of the ball. Ref says keep going. Here's Flanagan now at halfway. Ball stolen by Grant. The referee Armin saying no, I called the tackle. And so the penalty going to Western Suburbs. Penalty's 9-6 in the Magpies' favour. Got Coach Bailey for West making a change. Number 25 from the reserve grade. Angelo Alavagna will be coming on. Meantime, from that tap, there's a question being asked by referee Armin. In fact, he said the tap was taken nowhere near in line with the touch judge who marked the point. So the advantage gone to West and will be a scrum. Squandered it through not watching the touch judge's position. thought they could have taken it behind the position rather than they went fudging any extra territory, however. Flanagan has been replaced. Seems to have sustained a knee injury as he hops off. West have made a change with Brendan Tudor, who played in the first half of reserve grade, coming onto the field. So the decision about Alabama has been held over, I would think, until the situation was sorted out with Flanagan. So Balmain in attack. Parrish giving it what looked like a slightly forward pass to Maguire at the ruck. He's taken 2 metres short of halfway. It's Lidner in attack. The ball went loose. The ref will make it a scrum. Well, Alabama now does come on for West, number 25, and for Balmain, number 23 will be coming on. And that's David Brooks, the seasoned first-grade campaigner. Brooks replacing Gary McFarlane. David Brooks in for McFarlane. And in the West situation, the replacement there is, I think, Jackson. Alabama on for Jackson. West have come up with that scrum, and Rawlings running away there, making ground 10 metres into Balmain territory. Down the blind side goes Tudor, and Elias after him to wrap him up. And they try and put him into touch. Perilously close there as Ainscough is a dummy half. Puts Chip over the top. Siranen impeded his progress according to the ref, and in fact the touch judge will come in to report that, I would think. I think the crowd making more of it, really. Paul Siranen didn't get out of the road, but he's not obliged to get out of the road. And whether he did a great deal about impeding Ainscough's progress, personally I didn't think there was too much in it. Ainscough, as happens with all players in the competition, staying down for treatment just to try and impress the referee. Well, the touch judge, though, is putting in quite a verbal report. It was his great opportunity to get on the field, so he's making the most of it. Captain Pearce up there to hear that Paul Sirenen's been given 5 minutes in the sin bin. Well, comes the breaks, but I thought perhaps he's a bit unlucky there. West grandstand giving him a hot reception as he comes towards our camera position. Certainly a very hot reception. Paul Sirenen really getting booed from the field, a standing boo if you can have such a thing. So West through 2 to take that tap. Benjak over to Casado, just stood there and it worked 100%. Totally confused everybody, Balmain and referee, as the winger Ainscough came bursting through a big gap to score into the post. Well, Casado just seemed to freeze. He just stood there and had the ball sitting on his hand. Everybody thought, what's going on? And Ainscough knew exactly. He came powering through the break. Nobody touched him, ran some 20 metres slightly diagonally there to go in under the post. Well, it's a planned move. I suppose after 20 rounds of the comp we should have rehearsed something, and it seemed a strange time to work it, but that was quite marvellous. Casado just stopped, and it attracted everybody else to stop and just watch, and Ainscough came charging through. Balmain making another change now through number 16, Clint Robinson, who had a very strong game in the reserve grade. In fact, scored 2 tries there. Interesting to see who they take from the field. Well, West are coming home with a wet sail. Doherty's converted that, giving him 3 out of 3. And we've got a scoreline of some 24 points to 14. We've got 10 minutes remaining. West are within striking range as far as 2 converted tries go, but one couldn't imagine that Balmain, after being superior for virtually all the game, could squander this very important match for them. James Grant, the player taken from the field, Robinson on for him. Maybe Warren Ryan thought that he was the fellow who should have got Ainscough and Casado just stood still. So West back in possession just outside the quarter line. Can they keep this momentum going? Rawlings played it. Comes to Casado, the man who took everybody by surprise with a move. Penalty against Balmain. Pearce did tend to put Casado on the ground a second time. So it's the 10th penalty for West. Balmain have had 6. Doherty's kicked down, making very good ground, really across that breeze. So a greater sense of urgency has come into West play in the recent minutes. And egged on very strongly by a strong home crowd. Open deck grandstands at the northern end of Campbelltown Sports Ground, virtually full. Here's Henjack now from the tap. Rawlings coming back inside. The outside backs of Balmain made any alternative impossible for Rawlings. They came up very quickly in that umbrella-style defence. No progress there for Tudor at the ruck either. Maguire took him. Rawlings cut out Doherty, goes to Alavanya. They're very much a favourite with the West crowd. The old Bruce Clark mould, one thinks. Goes through from Henjack. Quite a good kick. Lindner's chasing it well, but it'll be too far in the end. Gary Jack able to just usher it over the dead ball line. Attendance about to come over. 11,477 at Campbelltown today. So the play back in the quarter, or will be in a moment when Jack returns that ball for Balmain to take the tap. 24-14, 8 minutes to go. Balmain in no hurry. Comes to Brooks. David Brooks has only been on the field a couple of minutes. Parrish giving it to Pearce. Tudor and Liddon taking down. Very ragged play the ball. Pearce appeared to really walk forward there. And West looking more energetic in defence. Sort of thing they could have been doing throughout rather than the latter stages of the second half. Tudor challenges Elias. But Elias has to come inside to be met by two other defenders in Cameron Blair and also Jason Liddon. It was a popular move for the West crowd. Jack's kick, a good one. Right over the top of Casado. He doesn't take it on the full, and he really should have committed to taking that on the full. The bounce subsequently scurries across the sideline and put Balmain back in a very good field position. Even though, of course, the ball will be fed by West. Scrum to pack. Benny Elias, as I thought from earlier scrums, is at half-back with Parrish in at hooker. So that scrum going West way. Rawlings played it. Comes to Liddner, pushed back solidly. Good defence. That was Wayne Pearce's opposite. Liddner played it forward because he didn't have a marker. Runs into Maguire, taking another 10 metres or so. Brooks also in the tackle. Tudor across to Henjack, to Rawlings. Goes onto Alavanya, got some space. He always unloads very well, this boy. And here's Doherty now, stretching out. Comes to Gary Jack, standing Gary Jack up, comes back inside. He had the winger in support, but he's still going, Doherty. Perhaps the option might have been to give it away and go. But good attack again from West. Coming home again with that wet sail. Here's Henjack, gives it to Rawlings. A long ball across the top out to Mackay on the right wing. Mackay steps inside, comes inside another one, but Elias is able to hang on. He got the ball away. Mackay gives it a second time to Liddon. But unfortunately that went forward. It was fairly clear cut that it was a forward pass. That last one to Jason Liddon out wide. But Mackay did well with that first effort. Obviously didn't give the second pass as I originally indicated, but I'm not sure who Mackay got it to. But in the effort to throw it out the back to get it to the virtually unmarked Liddon, the ball did travel forward. It's the half-back of Benny Elias. It's one against the feed. And interesting to see what happens here. It's just going to be a knock-on played against Elias. Henjack complaining that he was held by Elias without possession. So it doesn't matter what position Benny plays. He is fairly cheeky and a very great competitor.
Ladies and gentlemen, we just remind
Very interesting situation. He was picked at hooker in a test side tonight after being half-back. Here's an opportunity for Liddner to come straight through. Right from the base of the scrum. Came out on the open side of that scrum, and Liddner picked it up, disentangling himself in the back row, going straight through. A bit of feeling there, a few verbals between Gary Jack and Liddner after the touchdown. Well, is it possible for West to come back? There's 5 minutes or so remaining. That's 24 points to 18. We'll need this kick, of course, and another try. Yes, well, I was about to say it'd be a curious situation if Elias was picked as hooker in a test match by the Australian selectors tonight after playing a quarter of the Premiership match at halfback.
the try for West scored by number 13, Bob Liddner.
Scrums favouring West by some 9. So it's actually 10-5, and 2 of those against the head, even though Henjak subsequently knocked one of those on. And we had another scrum, which West Spin won. Parrish and hooker isn't really panning out. Really a strange decision to put the former centre in there when you've got Elias in the team. We have a Doherty moving in now. Pilots are through it. 4 out of 4 for Brett Doherty. Is there enough time left for Dooney to operate the Western Suburbs? 24 points to 20. Balmain 24, West 20. Only a few minutes remaining. The Balmain have really looked played around the edges in the last 10 or 15 minutes. West playing with plenty of enthusiasm and perhaps creating a question why couldn't they have done it throughout. Casado to play. There's Doherty carrying up over the quarter line. Makes good ground too. With Maguire hanging on. Assist by Brooks. Tudor wants a quick play the ball, so he pushed Brooks out of the road. They go to the blind side through Henjak. That's where they've made some ground down the blind side. Western Suburbs, when they've had the short blind there, they've been able to get through. With the bigger men, Doherty and Alavanya more recently. And the backs capitalising quite well on those big forwards making the breaks. Here's Rawlings. He was dragged around there as he played the ball, but it's play on. Doherty now pops it up for Alavanya to run into a bit of trouble. And in fact, Brasher takes the ball away from him. Angelo Alavanya always tries to unload that ball, so he'll be carrying it up the front. Brasher aware of that. And, he takes his time on the quarter, plays it eventually as it goes across to Pearce. Henjak's there to take him with Tudor over the top. And also Litton in the defence. Right in centre field, about 20 metres out. Goes to the right to Maguire. And Blair makes a good tackle with Rawlings' assistance. There's a wind-up from Parrish. He's going from dummy half to make a metre or so. Alavanya was around the legs. But very slowly let the leg go. Here's Brooks. Brooks steps, but steps really back inside to be met by Alavanya, and more particularly Litton. Last tackle for the Tigers. There's Elias trying to rubber it through. Doherty takes it and gets back into the field of play before Brasher and Elias wrap him up. 24 points to 20. Big comeback, but possibly too late by West. The try driven to the ground there by Robinson. I think Robinson in 16. Here's Litton. It's well met by Edmeds and also Brooks. Actually, one of the players that Balmain has missed, obviously, has been McNeil. McNeil injured in that first half, but his Terrier-like work rate in defence and his general organisation in attack and his backing up have been sorely missed. They've been not the disciplined outfit that you would expect Balmain to be. So play now about 9 metres in West Territory. Elias to play it. Here's Gary Jack scurrying away from dummy half. He can't get away from Blair. Balmain taking plenty of time over to play the balls, as you would expect from them at this late stage of the game. And just one off the ruck, safety first up at the moment, with Pearce being taken midway between quarter and halfway. Edmed again, just straight one off. Tudor there, and it's finally whistled to the ground. Alavanya around the legs. Back to the blind, to Elias. It's chip over. He's got a good chaser here in McGarry coming through. Doherty can't hold it, and luckily with his boot he managed to get it over the touching goal. But had he missed it completely, McGarry was flying through to try and take advantage of that well-placed kick by Benny Elias. Well, there can only be a minute or so remaining. 24 points to 20, Balmain over West. And the line drop out from Ivan Henjak. Goes to the right. Goes some 12, well, almost to the quarter really, but he was trying to make the short kick to see if West could run onto it and get possession back. There's the full-time siren as Gary Jack was coming down the blind. So that's enough, says referee Armand. So the game is over. It became a very exciting affair in the end. 24 points to 20, a win for Balmain after they led 18-2 at half-time. For Balmain, there were 2 tries to Tim Brasher, a try, and 4 out of 5 attempts to Ian McCann. A try to McNeil in the first half as well. For the 20 points to Western Suburbs, a try to Jamie Ainscough, 1 to Trevor Cogger, and also a try to Bob Lidner. Brett Doherty kicked 4 out of 4, a crowd of 11,477 people. Seeing the Tigers hang on desperately at the end by 24 points to 20. This is Rick Wade for Rugby League Replays from Campbelltown Sports Ground.
Rugby League Replays, proudly sponsored by Qantas.